last time we talked, it was right before you were about to have a kid. And now, I mean, it seems like your kid is late 20s. Like, how long ago was it?
Dude, it certainly does feel like I have a teenager at home. But yeah, I went and checked and I was like, oh, when did we do the first episode? And it was 2.5 years ago. It was in October of 2023. So like he wasn't born for like 5 more months after that.
I mean, it feels like yesterday. I mean, pod wise and probably life without a child wise, but 2.5 years isn't that long in the grand scheme of things.
No, I didn't think it had been that long. I was like, oh, like was it like end of 24? But then I was like, oh wait, no, like the kid wasn't even born yet.
It was, I mean, you came on like you said yes the first time too early, I think. There are a lot of guests who I was lucky enough to talk to earlier on while I was still, I mean, I'm gonna be learning how to do all this until it's over, but I knew even less then than I do now, and there were people who I had on, and we had great talks, and I know, like, I've gotten the feedback, like people still maybe not constantly, like, I don't want to embellish it, but people do still talk to me about your episode, and that's why I was like, we need to update the lore. We need to do a new one so that people like if the old one was on a old computer and old microphone, and I again like am not good now, but I was worse then. So I'm so glad we can do this again, and it was kind of a interest, like it was a good timestamp. It was right before you were starting Department of Interest, and or I mean like starting the real estate part of it, and then having a child, and then now you're really moving with department and moving with being a dad, so it's a perfect time to check in, I think.
Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, thanks for having me back. Um, I had so much fun last time, and I'm like, oh yeah, like let's do it again. Because yeah, a lot has changed since the last time we talked.
I wonder, I think eventually maybe this whole thing will just be the same batch of people like every 2 years checking in and reporting on their situation, like every so often I refine it and get like add someone new, maybe I don't want to kick anyone out, but maybe there's some subtractions along the way, and I think it'll be like a fine-tuned group of creative people that every couple of years update their like story.
Yeah, I like that. It's nice to like check in and be like, where are people at years later? What's going on? That's cool. I like it.
Well, I feel like I've kind of found like a cheat code in a way, because like there are friends in your life that you gotta, or not have to, you get to like check in every once in a while. I just found a way to record that check in.
It's just, dude, it's smart.
I mean, it just sort of happened. I wish I could say it was orchestrated and I was smart about it. I think it just ended up going that way, and I'm a big fan of leaning into things that seem to be going well and then sort of pretending they were orchestrated to go well along. So this fits that perfectly.
Yeah, dude, I love it because I love seeing when the homies show up on the pod.
I'm kind of actually I'm glad you're a part of it, but I've been saying like I'm trying to enter my Vancouver era.
Oh
Like
yeah.
there's so many interesting people doing stuff in Van that I either talked to too early or I've met recently, and I'm trying to sprinkle them in. So I think there should be a lot of Vancouver people in the next little bit. Oh, hopefully, at least I also can see myself fumbling that, and you'll be the last Vancouver person for 3 years.
Yeah, it's funny because I think about my own like personal life and I hang out with so many Edmonton people. It's like Every dude I golf with is from Edmonton. It's like a strong Edmonton group.
Like Austin, right?
Yeah. Austin from Maple, his buddy Ryan Wood, Liam Mitchell, the cinematographer. It's just like every time I go golf, it's just like the Edmonton homies.
That's yeah. I usually don't tease episodes mainly for the fact that if they don't happen, then I kind of look like a fool. But I think it's pretty safe to say Austin will be part of the Vancouver era.
Nice. That'll be good. I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah, yeah. I've known him forever, and I'm interested to hear what he would have to say, man. I don't like I know of what he's up to for sure, but I don't know any of the details. Like any of the stuff I would ask him in this, I don't think I know the answer. So I kind of selfishly the same thing. I want to know, so why not record it? Let everyone know. Or I mean, let the handful of people that care know.
Yeah, no, he's got some good stuff cooking. That'll be a good episode.
So you've been golfing? Is it recently you've been golfing more, or have you always been golfing? I don't think we talked about it at all last time.
No, we didn't talk about golf. So I started golfing when I was really young, like 9 or 10, so like early 90s. And it was I would play like 5 days a week, sometimes 2 rounds a day. And I got really into it. Like I played in a junior league when I was like 13. And then um I started skateboarding more and more. And just how things were in the 90s, it's like you had to pick like you're either a golfer or a skater. Like you can't do both. Like both sides were like clowning me for doing the other thing. And so I wish at the time that I'd, been a stronger person and had been like, be like, no, like I'm gonna do both of these things, but just, you're young and you're not confident enough and like peer pressure. And so I quit golfing to skateboard, which I'll argue was like the move because skateboarding has informed everything in my life. And to this day, I still look at skateboarding, you know, I watch a video like every day or clips. Um, but then I brought back golf into my life maybe like 6 years ago. And so it's been really nice getting back into it. And like none of the homies knew that I was like a junior golfer. And so we like went out the first time and they're like, "Whoa, dude, what's happening? Like, how are you how are you this good?" And I had to explain that I'd, been on the bench for 20 plus years. But it feels really good to be back and I'm stoked.
Were you paying attention to like when you were skating instead of golfing? Was it at least like on your mind? Like were you thinking about it, or was it completely severed off?
It was pretty much severed off. Like I'd play once every few years. Like my dad would be like, "Hey, like I'm playing in like a charity tournament or whatever. Like, do you want to come play?" And I'd be like, "Oh, like sure." Um, but I didn't really pay attention to golf for like 20 years probably. So, and then one day it was like, like the homies want to go do pitch and putt. And, I got back into it. When I got back into it, I like dove back into it hard.
It's like insane. There are probably, younger people listening who are hearing that golf and skateboarding had to be segregated for a bit because now it seems so, especially like old, I keep saying older, it's so pejorative. Like people getting older, skateboarding and golf kind of go hand in hand. Like most of the good pro skaters are incredible golfers. So it's funny, like for a while it was kind of a faux pas, but now it's totally acceptable.
Oh, dude, yeah. And there's pretty sick golf brands that you can see are heavily influenced by skateboarding. And yeah, like all the top pros play golf, but the 90s, it just felt a lot different. And that you couldn't. It was like, oh, like that's like a jock sport. Like that's fucking lame.
Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, it's funny to say. Like if you had a bit more self confidence or whatever, you would have been able to do both. But I know what it was like to be a skater at that time, and it would have been impossible. I don't think you could have done something like that and not been heavily roasted for it. Like it wouldn't be possible, I don't think, in the sport.
Oh, dude, I got it so bad from both sides that you're just like, ugh, you got to choose one. Obviously, skating's the one you choose,
Well,
but
it's good too because if you golfed when you were young, it would be kind of, I mean, it could be done, I guess, but it might be a bit weird to like retire from golf and start skating, but it would be totally normal to kind of phase out skating and golf more.
no, totally. And like, I kind of joke that golf is, I mean, golf is basically kind of like skateboarding. It's like, you know, with skateboarding, you spend thousands of hours perfecting like minute muscle movements, and golf is basically the same thing. And then you go out with the homies. You do it like golf is a solo sport, but you go and do it with your friends, and it's like instead of sessioning a skate spot, you and the homies just kind of session a golf course, basically.
Less injuries,
Yeah, yeah, less injuries.
less late nights. I assume.
Although some of the dudes I golf with are pretty gnarly on the course. Many beers are hit. So, which works to my advantage because I still don't drink. So, and we play for money. So usually by the back nine, they start getting a little loose and then I can, take them for a few bucks.
Yeah, I was thinking like I've always thought the alcohol mixed with golf is, I mean, probably quite enjoyable like in the moment, but it just seems sort of counterproductive because it's such like like you're so focused on everything and everything is so granular. You would think like mixing in alcohol could throw off the entire, like literally throw off the game.
Yeah, I could never do it. I couldn't do it. And then I could never really skate drinking either. Like it would throw my balance off. Like, I could have like a beer and go skate, but the tricks became less and less for me.
So, but you were, I mean, hopefully it's okay to talk about drinking, but you did like you hadn't fully quit when you were golfing, right?
In the early days of getting
No, sorry, I could have worded that way better. Like you've been sober for what, like 3 years, but golfing again seriously for 6. So were you drinking a bit before you had quit entirely?
I've been sober, what is it, like over 4 years now? And so when we would go golf, I would like, have like a tall can and I wouldn't even get through the tall can because I was like, oh, my game's falling apart. So yeah, I just can't do it.
I used to be like that with almost everything. Like if I was out drinking, but I was having a good conversation with someone, I like would kind of forget to drink in a way. Like so I wouldn't like finish one beer if I was talking to people, which I know is kind of counterproductive. A lot of people love drinking and talking with their friends, but I can't focus on even that. So like a sport or something, probably a no go.
Yeah, no. I don't know how dudes do it. I got one homie when he drinks, he gets better at golf, which is wild. Maybe he's just loose. It's not in his head as much, but I could
That's
never do it.
always dangerous. Like I have friends like that too. When they drink, they're better at a certain thing, and I feel like if I was infinitely better at something when I drank, that might have made me drink even
Yeah.
more.
Sounds like a slippery slope to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, sorry, I thought you had just kind of quit around last one we did. That's why I was thinking 3 years, but 4 is much better. I mean,
Yeah.
any stopping is quite incredible, but 4 years long time.
Yeah, it's funny. It kind of just like it's gone by really quick. I mean, now that I have a kid, like life kind of goes by insanely fast. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's. I mean, it's gotta be so much easier. Like, I don't, can't remember. No, I must have not been drinking last time we recorded too because I am coming up on 3 years being
Oh, sick.
sober, and
Nice.
it's so much better. Like I don't want to take the whole episode to preach about this stuff, but it's just like all of my friends are like, how many drinks can we have to feel okay in the morning, and everyone's trying to like figure out the exact formula to like do this, and I just have an incredible sleep every night and feel great every day.
Yeah, dude, you sleep so much better. The thought of being hungover and like raising a child just sounds like my own personal nightmare. Like, no, thank you. I
Yeah.
mean, more power to you if you can do it, but like, no, it's not for me. No, thank you. I'm
Yeah,
good.
I always say, I mean, drinking was fun, so I guess it had its time, but like the thought of doing it again is like insane to me. And I always say, if people can do it, like great, that's cool. And if I could maybe handle myself a bit better, maybe I still would do it. But for me, it just became not really sustainable.
Yeah, no, for me, like, I have stomach issues, and my stomach was just like, one day it was like, you're done. And I'm like, yeah, I'm done. Okay, no problem. And so, yeah, 4 years later, and I'm like you said, that you sleep better, you wake up clear-headed. Like, also, like, that stuff, it's like inflammatory. Like, I'm already old. I don't need my body to feel worse. I'm trying to make it feel better.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah, exactly. I'm in that boat as well. Still looking for how to do that, but maybe closer without the inflammatories as you're talking about.
Yeah, it certainly helps. So,
So how's Department of Interest? It looks incredible from the outside. It's very. I mean, every week I'm talking to someone who what they do is really impressive to me. Like I'm talking to so many creative people about what they're doing, and I always kind of think like it's incredible that I'm even able to have these talks with people who are doing such cool things. But this one especially impresses me. It's like very. I mean, I was saying thinking before this, you might be the only cool realtor in the world.
well, dude, thank you. Yeah. No, dude, thanks. That means a lot. It's going well. It's a job I never thought I would have because like you said, like everyone thinks realtors are, like dorks and cheesy and, many of them are, but there are a lot of good people I've also met in the industry that like no one really shines a light on. Like there are people that like care about architecture and design and just they want to do right by their clients and make sure, people get their dream home and don't get screwed over because like stuff can happen out there. But
There is, yeah, I should say. I don't know every realtor, so maybe, I mean, I don't know how many realtors are tuned in to this, but I didn't mean to offend anyone. I actually have like good friends who they might be tuned into this. They're realtors, and in that isolated incident, it is not cool, and it's actually pretty corny.
oh, dude, I will say it, and I'm sorry to the other realtors, but most of them are kind of cornballs. It's just the way that it is. But then there is some really good people as well, like with every industry.
Yeah, I guess I was gonna say, looking at that maturely as well, there, but pretty much everything. I mean, podcasting also easily the most corny thing you could do. So, like, I of course understand that, and also my friends who maybe make corny reels also probably have a lot more money than I do in the bank. So.
Yeah, no, it's a funny one, but I've been really, I guess when we talked in 2023, yeah, it was like early days of us starting to sell stuff. And so,
You were just like getting your license, or you had just got it?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's right. So yeah, we hadn't even sold anything yet. So we've been super fortunate to like in a short amount of time get to represent some really significant architectural houses. And um I'm quite honored that people have like trusted such a young team with these iconic homes. And so it's been a really fun journey and like um I don't know, I love it. I like what I do. For like one of the first times I'm like, wow, I actually really love my job. Like I get to photograph, do the videos. I do it all the photos and videos myself because I went to school for it. So that's the thing that's a lot different than like it's a lot different than most realtors. Like they hire that stuff out, but I do it myself. So I just get a level of control and I get to put out what it is that I want to see, which is really nice. And yeah.
And yeah, my guess is like when you do a good job selling one home or like presenting it, just the whole thing goes over well. They obviously tell their friends or someone else selling a similar home wants the same sort of representation. So the growth must be like a hockey stick on a chart for you.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. You a lot of referrals. Yeah. It's it's been nice. And again, I'm really thankful that people come to us and they understand what it is that we're trying to do and they trust us with these houses. So, um it's been great.
Is there I mean, well, if you want to throw people under the bus, you don't have to, but is there like any beef or animosity with you guys being such a young team? Like, are there people who kind of feel you're like stepping on their toes?
I don't think so. Not really. Like at least if there is, I don't hear about it. Like I'm sure like maybe there is. We have like a fairly close competitor who does a similar thing as us, but we're friends. Like I like those dudes. They do a really good job. I actually one of the guys on their team, like his car broke down, so I lend him my car. So I'm like, you can't really have beef if you're lending like I don't even want to call them the competition, like I'm lending them my car. So, but as far as if there's anyone who's, you know, beefing with us, I don't know about it. Everyone's been super nice. So.
That's honestly like not really what like I thought there would be some sort of pushback. Not that I was hoping for, but I thought there might be.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to even go to it to like beef, but like, sometimes like an older agent or someone will come by and you can tell that they're maybe like, why didn't I get this house? Like, I specialize in this neighborhood. Like, why did these young guys get it? But it's just it's like with any industry, like people will be like, well, how come they got it? And I'm like, well, we shoot things a certain way, we do video a certain way, we write about it, we build these custom websites. Like, I took a lot of stuff from like because I come from the fashion and art world before this. I took a lot of those skills and mapped it over to real estate where not a lot of people were doing it yet. Like, people hire like the standard real estate photography. It's quite flat and boring. And whereas like when we shoot stuff, I want it to look like it's in like Architectural Digest magazine is like what I'm going for. Like that's the that's the bar. Like it has to look like that. So and a lot of realtors they don't understand that, like why we would go to that level. But that's what sets us apart is by taking it to there.
Yeah, no, and like that makes so much sense to me. I think about people, maybe even I've done it before, where I like someone's getting a job or work or something in a certain industry, and then someone wonders why they've been prioritized. But then I think like if you come at it as an outsider and think about it for a minute, it's like, well, they got the job probably because they were the best person for it and they were innovating. And, there's like all these obvious factors. And it sounds like that applies to this, like, exactly.
100%. And like, I also like come from design. And so like I happen to know people in it and those people happen to have really beautiful houses. So like, it's like it's also your network, but
How, I mean, I guess a very blanket question, but like, how quickly do the homes sell typically? Like,
it really varies and like the market right now it's tough. Things are slow. So, like we've sold a house in the first day and then I've some things that you think are going to move quickly might take 2, 3 months, or it takes like a month. You never know how long it's gonna go. Like it used to be you could like list on Friday, it's sold on Monday, but now the game has really changed. People are really price sensitive and like, like the world's in a strange place politically and like stock market up, down, crypto up, down, like, oil prices, you know, America's trying to take over Canada, jokingly, geopolitics. So people are cautious with wanting to buy real estate right now. And I get it. I don't blame them.
are a lot of the people, again, like, this is just pure curiosity, really, but a lot of the people that are buying homes from you guys, are they like Vancouver people, or are they like from the States or from overseas?
For us, it's primarily Vancouver people, I would say.
That's good. I mean, I guess it's all good.
Well, because we have a foreign buyer ban, so you can't if you're not a Canadian citizen, you can't buy here anyway.
Okay, see, I had no idea. That
Yeah.
obviously negates the entire question.
No, they did it just to cool the market because a lot of overseas money was flowing into Vancouver and buying up all the homes and driving the prices up. So they put a nix to it.
Is that recent or it's been around for decades?
What is it, like 3 years now? Something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um, maybe, yeah. They keep extending it. But it's primarily Vancouver people, and I get to meet tons of interesting people, like, you know, architects, guys who design video games, cartoonists, interior designers. Like our clients are like wide-reaching, lawyers, doctors. It's cool. I get to meet a lot of interesting people in Vancouver who love design, which is great.
That's I mean, again, I don't want this to be rude at all. I wouldn't have thought a cartoonist could afford these houses.
When you sell your cartoon for lots of money, you can.
That's incredible. That's
Yeah.
inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's yeah, it's fun. I meet lots of interesting cats, which is cool.
Is like, are you learning? This is another stupid question, but I'm curious. Taking all these photos and videos for the houses, are you learning stuff from that type of photography that you're like applying just to normal photos?
Yeah, dude, it's been great getting back into photography because I have a degree from Emily Carr in photography, but I didn't shoot like interiors, but I had this like base knowledge of photo. And so it really like ignited my passion for photography again. And then now I've been doing our video, so I went and I bought myself a bunch of video equipment and like teaching myself that medium, which has been great. And like learning how to do my own color grading in DaVinci and just working on how I edit stuff. I like being like a lifelong learner, like picking up new skills. And so learning how to do video and like color grading it's been challenging, but super fun. And now with like YouTube is the greatest resource ever. If I don't know how to do something, I go on YouTube and there's a guy showing me how to like do this thing with video. Um, it's great. And then through that, I think also, to be honest with you, my kid has also really inspired me to shoot personal photos. So I always have my like Ricoh GR4 on me, documenting him and like what he's up to. So it's been good. Yeah, I just. I love photography and like shooting the houses has brought me back into it.
What do you think about the GR4?
Dude, I love it. Oh wait, no, sorry, my bad. I have the GR3. I saw the GR4 in Tokyo. Um, dude, I love that camera. They are the best.
I know. I had a GR2 that it's funny. I think I got it like it was just fall retail. It was maybe 750 and then they've gone up an insane amount. Like I think the GR4 is like 2500.
It's crazy. When I was in Tokyo in February, I didn't even know it, but like a block away from our hotel was the GR4 dedicated store. And I went there and checked it out. That camera is beautiful, man. I'll shoot our houses. Some of the photos are with the GR4 and people are like blown away that I shot it with a point and shoot. So,
Yeah, I loved one. And I've been thinking about one of those. And I think it would just take like I mean, I'm sure you're a camera nerd at heart too. So, like it always takes the cosign from one
yeah,
person to like set it off in my head that like I need one of those. And you might have just done that.
dude, they're the best. Once I figured it out and like figuring out your own chemistry for the colors, like, oh, dude, it's such a sick rabbit hole. I love it. And there's just indestructible. Like I've dropped mine a ton. Like I let Issei, my son, try and take photos with it. Like they're a great camera.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask next if you've noticed, like, is he showing any interest in the things that you're kind of exposing him to? Like, does he at all care about the houses or care about the photos?
Oh, dude. So my partner and I, Loren, we'd always said like you gotta let a kid be a kid. You don't wanna like I never wanted to push the cool guy stuff on him because I saw other people that I know do that, and then to be honest with you, the kids end up kind of jaded and a bit weird. Like you can't expose them to stuff too young because kids, they want to play with action figures, cartoons, this and that. Um, but the stuff is around our house. I don't push it on him, but like my son is obsessed with skateboarding. He loves it. We go skateboarding, a few times a week. There's a sick parking lot across from our loft that has like a couple of little hills. So me and him go and like bomb the hills. And then we've been working on like little axle stalls. I just like put the board on the curbs and he stands on it and he balances and jumps off. Dude, it's so sick. He's got me so hyped to skate again. But he just came to it on his own. He was just like he saw mine and he just like grabbed it when he was like really little and just like push it around and dude, it's so cool to see. He when he was young, he couldn't call it skateboard, so he called it Ebo for whatever reason. So now like I just call skateboarding Ebo because it's his language. So I'll come home and he'll be like, Dada, Ebo, let's go Ebo. And then he'll run and grab his helmet. Dude, it's like I get so hyped. So hyped.
Yeah, that's a good name for it, too. I mean, I guess it's the E in front of the B-O.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he can say skateboard, but it's just been so ingrained in him that he still just says Ebo. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, let's go. So,
Yeah, that's funny. What made me think of that was I also definitely subscribe to the idea that like you don't want to force or even like introduce your kids to things too early because I've said it on here, so I probably sound like a broken record, but when I was young, no matter how cool something is, if my parents told me that thing was cool, I would have probably like never done it. And I always say when if I'm lucky enough to like have a kid, I wouldn't force anything on them except for photography.
yeah, that's a
And
good one.
not even like being a photographer, I would just from until they or like from birth basically. Like you always have a camera. It doesn't matter what camera it is, like you're not trying to be cool online, but always have photos of you and your friends like forever. You want to instill that early on. So I wondered if photos have found their way into it. Just thinking that's the only thing I would push on a kid. Maybe someone else might think that's one of the worthwhile things to push on a kid too.
No, I think that's great. You want to capture those core memories and the stuff you get up to with your friends. Like I wish I had more photos of the crew of guys I skated with in the 90s. Like I wish I had that. Like I have a handful of photos of us, and then I had a bunch of like high eight tapes of us skating, and then my old apartment got broken into and they stole those tapes. And I was like, of all the things that got jacked, I was like, man, I just want those tapes back of us like skating my hometown of Abbotsford in like, 97, 98, 99. Like I want that footage back.
Yeah, I don't think I have a photo of anything I did until 2005 maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
But yeah, and that I think about that too when I think. Also, like imagine if you're young and you get shown a camera and it's just kind of like taught to you to always be documenting stuff, you would like that would be in your muscle memory for life, I think.
For sure. Yeah. Like Issei has a little toy camera that we gave him. Like it doesn't take photos, but it's like he sees me with my camera gear, so he wanted a camera. So we got him this like little wooden one. But um there's these cool like little digital cameras you can get for kids that like they don't have screens or anything. They almost look like a disposal. I want to get him one of those when he's like a little bit older and can understand how to take a photo a bit better. Because I think it'd be sick for like him to be like 3 and like put out a zine, you know?
Oh, for
Like,
sure, but like kids, they see things in the most interesting way. Like I always say, like a kid's art is always going to be the most interesting because they don't know all the rules yet, and they're just doing what they think like looks cool. I think for photos too, if you like gave a kid a camera, the photos they're gonna take are just gonna be like things that an adult wouldn't even think about taking a photo of.
oh, totally, because he doesn't have any of the like preconceived stuff on his mind. Like, because he's free. He doesn't have all the, you know, how am I gonna word this? He doesn't have all the like constraints and the knowledge that we have that inform how we take a photo. To him, it's just like he's not thinking about, like rule of thirds or like golden hour, like any of that stuff. He's just like it's just instinctual, which is super cool.
Yeah, I think back to I think Leo Fitzpatrick. He always goes to art galleries and he lets his son take his phone and take the photos of what they're seeing, and it's always like that's what I think of when I think of like having a kid using a camera, because it's like photos you would never think of taking, and it just is so interesting what the kid is looking at. And I would love to see more kids photography. Like some kid should definitely start a zine press and like only put out zines from other kids. That would be pretty cool.
Totally.
But actually, we I should trademark that before someone else gets their kid to do it.
Oh, watch out, dude. I'm gonna do it now.
Hamburger Eyes Junior.
Yeah, the toddler edition of Hamburger Eyes. I love that thing. I have quite a few of their like original issues somewhere in storage. I used to buy them from Antisocial back in the day. Michelle was always good about having awesome photo books in that store.
Yeah, yeah, that's. I mean, I'm sure I've said it on air before too, but actually when I saw my very first zine, like when I learned what a zine was, it was at the old. I guess it would have been three, and he or two. Like it was the one with the mini ramp in the back.
Yeah, the OG location. That spot was sick.
Yeah, that.
I worked for Antisocial in 2009, which is crazy to think that was 17 years ago I worked there.
And was that the second spot?
I worked at the second location for a summer. I was filling in while Rihanna was in Europe. It was such a sick job. I mean, I love working in skate shops. It's like helping kids like grip a board or like grab shoes. Like, I don't know. It's the chillest job working at a skate shop.
Yeah, definitely. And it's actually kind of funny juxtapositioning skate shop employee realtor. It's like
Oh yeah, yes.
two ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. If you'd have came to me at Antisocial in 2009 and been like, you're going to be a realtor for architectural homes in Vancouver when you're older, I'd been like, shut up. There's no way. But, life takes you down many different paths. So,
What's I mean, like, yeah, if you don't want to expose stuff, don't. But, like, is your plan, like, do you want to grow Department of Interest? Like, do you want to hire more agents, or are you guys gonna, like, stay contained and just do it yourselves?
we're going to stay small. It's just me and my partner Christopher. It's just the two of us. Um, yeah, no plans to add agents at this time. Just keep it, me and him, keep it small, keep it keep it nimble. Yeah, I'd like goofed around with the idea of like maybe down the road doing our own brokerage and bringing in agents, but it just seems like too much of a like logistical nightmare to do that. So I think we're just gonna keep it just the two of us for now. Who knows what'll happen down the road, but right now it's good for two dudes to do.
And what about, like, a Netflix expansion, like, selling Vancouver?
Oh, dude, I don't. People have tried here. There's one on YouTube where people tried to do like a Vancouver version of Selling Sunset. I just that's not for me. I mean, I started a podcast for DOI. That's about I think as far as I'll take it. We've done some small documentary projects, and I think I'll keep doing those like when I have time, these little like 6-minute videos on YouTube, but I think that's the extent of our media expansion plans.
And that, like, really anything beyond that is kind of
Yeah.
maybe not pointless, but it's like no one needs any of their shows. Like they, and I feel that the wrong people, or maybe who tunes into those anyway. I don't think anyone actually interested in real estate or the industry is like watching that show. I think it's just like bored people.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think if it's so manufactured, I think if people knew what it actually was like to be a realtor, A, they'd cut us a bit more slack. And B, you'd be like, it's not as glamorous as you think it is. Like those shows make it out to be all like champagne and caviar and Maybachs, which is very far from the truth.
Yeah, have you ever had caviar with any of your clients?
No, dude. No. Okay. I have a cappuccino at the coffee shop. Like,
See, that's good. It doesn't need to go beyond that.
yeah, no.
I was gonna ask about the pod next actually, so that's great. How I mean, such a unique idea, and like I mean, saying a podcast and a unique idea in the same sentence is funny. But there are, like, everyone is always like the world doesn't need more podcasts, blah blah blah. I disagree, but I think they have to be, like, they have to have a reason, and like they have to fill a void. Like having a pod talking about the type of things you're talking about attached to the agency. I've never, I don't know every agency in the world, but I've never heard of that before. So in that instance, it's like I think very necessary. Fills a void, talks about things people aren't gonna like get that info anywhere else really.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. It's like for me, like there was no one talking specifically about like architecture and design in Vancouver and even almost Canada from a point. Like there's like architecture podcasts that get pretty like academic, but I just wanted one that like focused on things that I was interested in architecture and design, you know, in Canada. And like I'll expand because I have, friends in New York, Europe, LA, but I really just kind of like you, like I wanted an excuse to talk to friends or people that I like don't know, but I find super interesting just to talk about what they're up to in architecture and design. And because I'm naturally kind of a shy person, and I was like, this is gonna force me to like have conversations with people that I might not normally have with and get to learn something, but also allow the listeners to maybe hear something that they didn't know and like learn something about a house or a chair, or a garden. And it, it's funny where like I launched it and I dropped the first two episodes and then I got really busy with work that it's like I'm definitely not going to be a weekly podcast. I respect anyone who can do it, but like I think there's going to be like a 3 to 4 week period between episode 2 and episode 3. It's I'll do yeah, I'll do them when I can get to them.
That's a good way to do things. And as someone like I don't know. I love doing this, so I'm not complaining at all. But as someone like gonna confine to the weekly thing, it is extremely overwhelming, like all the time.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know how guys do it. I got nothing but respect to be able to like bang them out weekly. Like I listened to this one podcast out of LA called Pare Pare, and he talks about architecture, cars, and watches, and it is so niche, but it is actually to me like one of the best podcasts for like a fellow nerd. I don't know. It's like to me, it's like, top three best podcasts. And because it's so niche and it like brings this crew to, you're like, oh man, there are other guys like me. Sick.
Is that weekly?
He does it weekly. It's crazy. And he's like a full-time lawyer. So I got nothing but respect for that dude.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Like, see, I'm like another thing that I it just happened and I'll lean into it being orchestrated, but it wasn't really at all. But I'm so lucky because every week I have a guest. Like the whole show, like from the beginning, I've always had someone else. So it's more just a conversation. There isn't really much editing or anything. So it's pretty easy. Like even though it is a lot and like coming up with a guest every week and getting it done can be a lot, but I still feel it's like I'm on the easier side of things when I hear about doctors and lawyers and whatever having like a pod every week on like more maybe substantial topics, like there's some research going into it, it might be scripted like that. That's insane. That's a lot of work, a lot of dedication, like way more impressive than just like these are a recorded phone call with a bit of editing.
Don't minimize it, dude. This is a lot of work too. I respect that you can churn these out. How many episodes are you at now?
I think you'll be 211.
Dude, that's pretty epic. 211 episodes.
Yeah, I mean it is. It like it's really really cool, but then also it kind of like like it's daunting in a way because like I was thinking the other day, can this ever end? Like it is weird to think about just not doing it. Like I've done it every Monday for years, and then one day I just won't, and that
Yeah.
might be weird for me.
Yeah, no, that's definitely, there's going to be a mourning period. when you eventually do stop it.
So that's why it's good that you've been lenient on yourself in the beginning. Like I've always been strict, so it like if I like I'm not really an anxious or like that type of person. But when I'm if I'm like at risk of missing a week, that's like probably when I get the most anxious in my life and then think like what was the point of any of this? Like, I'm gonna miss a week, it's gonna all fall apart. And like, clearly not true, and no one really cares. But I'm like, every Monday it has to be out. Like, that's the rule. Like, even if we're traveling or whatever, it's always out. And it's fun, and it taught me a lot of like discipline. But I think your approach is probably the safer one, especially for a dad and I mean you have a like a job. This is just a component of it, so I think like it would be way too stressful if you try to confine it to like a weekly or even like bi-weekly release.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself. I wanted to keep it loose and fun so that, like if a few weeks go by, it's okay. And like I hit up like four people for the latest episode, and all of them were like, "Oh, hey, I'm traveling to Copenhagen. Oh, I'm going to Mexico City. Like, oh, I'm going to New York." And I'm like, "All right, no one's around, so like whatever. I'll wait till some people are back."
That's
So,
I mean you'll probably experience that more and more like that. It's not like some of my guests were bad and now they're better. It's just that the more I'm like trying to talk to like adults, like doing more substantial things, it's way harder to like pin people down as quickly. Like earlier on, I would ask people and usually they're within a day or two. And as I'm saying this, I should commend you for being able to do this quite quickly. But most people are traveling or they're busy or they have a job. Like not everyone can just like record the next day. So as
yeah.
mine goes, that gets harder too. Like maybe I have the chance of hearing yes more often, but when that yes will happen is further apart.
How often are you a few weeks ahead when you record? Like, do you have a few in the can? Or like are you like always riding like, "Oh man, I need another one this week."
Sometimes, but it's hilarious. I'm down to expose my flaws for sure. There have been times where I've had like multiple backstart, and then I think, yeah, I'm good to go. Like I have three on ice. I'll do two. Like I'll record more, and then I'll have five on ice. Like I'll never run out, and then I get way too like complacent and like comfortable. I just don't record for like 2 or 3 weeks and then I run out of the backstock. Like this episode will come out on Monday. I have no
Sick.
backstock now.
Nice. Well, I'm glad I could make this one work. Is Do you have any guests that you've been chasing and you just haven't been able to land? Like, is there like a couple white whales? Like, who are you after? Out of curiosity.
Um there I mean that like I would like for this to sound as humble as possible. I think everyone I've wanted to ask has kind of agreed. There are a couple like good ones coming soon that are kind of confirmed. But I also like in saying that, I've always been uh like almost more like harder on myself than I think the guest would be. So I don't ask people unless I like think that they'll do it. So there aren't. I mean, there's one person I would say that I guess that will never do it, so it's fine and fully exposed. Sarah Sherman from Saturday Night Live. She
Yeah.
I don't know her at all. Like, but she knew some people who I knew. I thought I might be able to get to her like years ago when she first got on SNL, and then it just like didn't really materialize, and now she's like so big that like that will never happen. She would have been like I really I don't know what it was, but I thought she was so funny immediately. And like to be fair, I actually think she's maybe a bit less funny now. And that has nothing to do with not doing this. I just like I thought she was like the goat, and now she's funny, but maybe not the ultimate funny.
Yeah.
She may have slipped through the cracks, but there's no one that I mean, I would love to talk to Jerry Sue. I haven't asked him yet, so I don't know if he would do it or not. He's kind of a white whale, I guess.
I feel like Jerry's gettable. Like, especially if you start tapping into the Vancouver Connect.
Yeah, yeah. Someone else was telling me that as well because I know his wife is
Yeah.
from. Actually, someone told me she's from even closer to me. Like she's from Saskatchewan, I think.
Yeah, I think she
Like
is, and then moved to
born.
Vancouver. Yeah. I feel like you're only 1 degree away from Jerry.
Yeah, I humbly agree. That's how it works too. I'll have people in mind, then I'll wait until I have someone that might like entice them a bit more. You know, like I'll next time I get like a photographer, like a niche photographer, then maybe I'll reach out and say like I just did one with so and so, and that might like sweeten the pot. You know, I try if I'm like in the midst of talking to a bunch of marathoners, I'm not gonna like reach out to a photographer or documentarian because it doesn't like if they look at the accounts and they're like, well, these did okay, I guess, but it has nothing to do with. Even though I guess if you look at the whole thing, none of it has anything to do with anything. It's all random, but that's part of it as well. But no, I guess the long-winded way to say there's no one
Yeah.
like no one that I've asked multiple times, and that is just because I'm like so shy and like really don't want to be rejected. And there are people who I want that I know you can. Some people can. I'm not really the type of person who'd ask someone a bunch of like I wouldn't hound someone in their email being like, "Hey, we've grown so many followers over the year. Like, do you want to do it now?" I feel you gotta have one chance to ask, and then that's it. So I like save the asking until I think it like is more feasible.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it. I've already had a few people brush me off, which is hilarious. I was like, yeah, I gotta get used to that.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I should say too. I've for sure heard. I haven't really had anyone like just blatantly say like no, not interested. But I've had so many people say like yeah, I've never done one, and like I don't love the idea of being recorded for an hour and a half. Like, and I absolutely get that. If I didn't do this, I don't think. I mean, if I didn't do this, I don't think anyone would ever want me on their pod. But I probably wouldn't want to be on a podcast either.
I don't know. I think everyone should do it. It's one of those things in life. Like, if you know, just do it, man.
There, are, you. I mean, hopefully this you'll experience this too. I talk to people who, you know, maybe I'll interview a friend of theirs, and then I'll get talking to them. Like they'll share it, and we'll start talking. Then and I'll ask like, would you, you know, like I would love to have you on for an episode. Like, you consider doing it? And then people say, I've never done one. I really hate my voice. Like, I don't know if my company is gonna like me going on the record with all this, but like, sure, let's do it. And then when it's done, they'll like when the episode comes out and they get the feedback from people and they see it was good, they end up kind of liking it. And they're like, oh, I actually, no one's ever asked me any of that stuff. Like, I've never really been able to articulate like why I do what I do. And then they almost like want to be on more. Like, I'll talk to someone who's never done one before, and then like within the next couple months they've done like two other ones. So it's cool that way too. People who are like shy maybe think it's not for them and ends up being a enjoyable experience for them.
Yeah, like once they get a taste of it and they realize it's not actually as scary as you think it is. And also,
Yeah.
it's, people, yeah, like you said, like people are afraid to like maybe embarrass themselves or like step on their words. And, but you know what? I think it's okay to be human. Like, I don't always answer questions, perfectly, and that's okay. Like, the end of the day, we're humans and, we should have a little bit more humility. It's okay to like, not always be eloquent.
Oh, for sure. I used to like really stress about that, and then every episode I get a bit like looser on the editing, like let long pauses go, like all this human stuff that I've learned over the past couple of years that it like actually matters almost more. And it's funny, like all when I get feedback on, like if I put it an episode that I feel like at minimal editing, no pauses, like no wrong words, no one really will say like the numbers might be good for the streams, but no one's really gonna like send me an email saying like, oh, that was great that you all spoke normally and used the right words for everything. But then their episodes were all just use a word like completely wrong or I'll fumble what I'm saying, and then someone will email me and say like, oh my god, I like 1312 timestamp, like I said this word instead of this word like 2 days ago, like this is so relatable, like we love this. And then that's why I'm like, I'm gonna leave in like every time one of us messes up or interrupts each other, like that's more human. And I think people relate to that more than all the like fake perfection. So I think you're right.
Yeah, dude, I just like as I get older and now that I have the kid, I'm like, dude, it's not that deep. Like you're gonna die one day. Like it's okay. Like just it's okay to be human. We make mistakes and like I don't know. Being a dad's like really taught me to like chill out on a bunch of stuff that I used to think was like important and I'm like, it's not that important, man. It's there's more important things to worry about in life.
When I was younger, my mom was a reporter on TV, and I used to like absolutely hate the fact that like she was one way on TV, like really perfect, and like then I mean like there's nothing wrong with her at all. Like I love my mom. It's just I would like see her on TV and then know like this isn't the exact person that was like helping me with my homework. And I really hated that. And more lately I've been thinking about like not being a fake like polished pod or whatever. Like it might be better just to be real, and then the people who are listening to this are all like normal humans as well, and they're gonna probably resonate or have that resonate with them more than it would if I was like a a very like polished, like produced pod. And I mean those pods have their place and they're great. But that's like not really what I'm trying to do. And also if it was what I was trying to do, I think I would be really bad at it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Who wants to play? Yeah, you don't need to play a character. Just be who you are. You know, I see it. Like, there's another podcast I listen to. I'm not going to air it out, but like the guy plays like a nice, friendly dude on the pod. And then, like, I have friends that are homies with him, and they're like, that guy's such a dickhead in real life. And so you're like, dude, you're just being a phony on air for like, for what? Vanity, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, that's, I mean, yeah, I hate that. I was like, same with watching my mom do that. I wouldn't say, like, it was like her job to kind of be fake, right? That was just them, like, kind of wanting it to be that way. So I
Yeah.
hold her less accountable. But for sure, I know. I can think of other pods that I might not name where I'm like that is a weird personality to have on the pod, and then I know people that know that person and they're like they're nothing like that at all. Like they're like just a normal person, but their Patreon does so well they kind of have to act like that just to like keep it all like circulating.
Yeah, you gotta play the role to juice the algorithm, get the money flowing.
Yeah, yeah. Again, like I think I said at the beginning, I have no money off all this, so maybe that's why I can be so opinionated and like free with all this. If there was any money at all on the line, like actually, I would hate if money dictated how this went, but I'm also glad it doesn't.
Yeah. Didn't you have a pizza sponsorship for a hot minute?
Yeah, yeah, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
That like the best pizza in the city, but that kind of fizzled out, and I'm actually in the process of trying to figure out how I could maybe do this like full time, but I don't know if it's possible, and I hate podcast ads. Like when I listen to a pod and then it's like 8 minutes of AG1 ads before. Like I don't know how anyone can take anything after that
I
seriously.
I
Or
hit the
like
skip so hard on the podcast with those ads. I'm like,
yeah, and it's like every episode is a different ad, which like I get. Of course, you're probably getting a decent amount of money from each sponsor, but it's like how do you? It's impossible to take the host seriously when every episode they're just like shilling something else for like 4 minutes and then like you can tell they don't even know what the product is or like it. I just I would hate to do that to me and I would hate to do it to the listener, like, and then even to the company, like, is he gonna get a bad ad read, like a lackluster promotion? It's just all not great, but
yeah,
I am trying to think of how I could maybe do this for any money at all. That would be kind of nice, but I haven't figured it out yet, and I
you
don't know if I will.
you just do it for the love of the game, man.
Yeah, for now it's I mean, I just love talking to my friends, and it happens to be recorded.
Yeah. And I think that that's what makes a podcast so good is that it is just this like natural, relaxed thing that's not polished. It's a conversation between, two homies.
What about not to overly plug them, but this pare you're talking about, do they have ads or is it just like out of like respect for
He no ads. I think he just got a deal with like Huckberry, but like he barely talks about them. So, no, he keeps it chill. So, he doesn't read ads, which is dope.
that's another thing that I feel like is coming, but I don't think everyone is like onto it yet. But I feel companies are gonna start like funding pods for without ads. Like
Yeah, you just
just like even in the show notes, if you were like, oh, this episode is powered by Vans or Nike or something, but no like overly promoting them. I think that's actually gonna be the future, and I'm really hoping to ride those coattails. Actually,
I
Nike, if you're listening, please pay me to not advertise for you. I would love it.
I think that's the way to do it though, is to just, like make it slightly a little bit more natural. Like, like you just, yeah, put it in the show notes or like, I don't know, you could like do an event with them via the pod or something. Just like think outside the box instead of just like reading like AG1 ad or like however the
Well,
bunk does their Vans thing, powered by Vans or however the hell they say it. You
it
know, like
it reminds me of like what I was saying before. Like if parents tell their kid something in school, the kid won't like it. I feel if I'm on here telling you for like 4 minutes about shoes, no one's gonna like buy them. They're almost gonna go out of their way not to buy them because they were annoyed by the ad. But if you like, who knows? What if I was sponsored by Nike, and that was just a subtle mention? I'm not, and I wish I was. And if they're listening, pay me to do this next time. But yeah, I think just the mention of something is in the future gonna be more powerful than if I was like, have you guys heard about the insole on these shoes? Like, it is incredible.
yeah. Vans, if you're listening, I'm wearing the limited edition club gear eras that you put out. Some more Alberta pride there. Shout outs club gear. Send me some more, please.
He actually is back in Alberta, I think.
Is he? Dave's back in Alberta?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard he's living in Calgary right now.
Oh, damn. Well, I love the shoes you put out. I still have a box fresh pair.
Yeah, Club Gear was incredible. And
Yeah.
like actually it's almost more incredible that he like just stopped it. Like I don't think enough people get out at like a height.
Yeah.
People will like ride something until like it's unsustainable and then they have to like announce it's closing and it's just all like a sad moment. And it's cool that he like did it and then was just like, oh, it's not happening anymore. And then everyone gonna wonder what happened to it. I think that's a way better legacy.
Yeah, that's some good lore.
It's hard to orchestrate that type of thing, but
Dude, running a brand is tough. Having ran a brand in the past, like again, it's not as glamorous as everyone thinks it is. It's a lot of like you don't make a ton of money unless you scale at a crazy rate, which barely anyone gets to. And it's just like it's a lot of thankless work, man. It's hard.
yeah, it's interesting that I feel we could apply this to both of us. I think when I was doing Nowhere Fast as more of a brand, it started to like wear on me when you think like this is essentially the same thing every day. Like even if you're changing designs, it's still like t-shirts, hoodies, hats. But now doing this every week I'm talking to someone else, so it never feels like the same thing. Like maybe my half of it is similar every week, but each guest is totally different. And then same with you, like each property, each like thing you're gonna research for each episode is gonna be different. So I think it would be hard to get bored of it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, every house is different. Every house is a new project with like a different history and like a different way to present it. So it's always keeping it fresh. And then same, yeah, with the podcast, everyone will be, we could be talking about a chair or a house or, a garden, whatever. Like, um, Yeah, each time it'll be something different. So I don't think I'll get bored of it at all. Because I mean it's the stuff that I love, and so I can talk about that stuff for forever. But funny enough, people have asked if I was ever gonna do like Department of Interest merch. Just like I want a hat, I want a tee, and I'm just like, I don't know. Do people want to walk around wearing like a real estate company's hat? I don't know, man.
That's
Oh.
so perfect. You would bring that up. I recently have been thinking, like, it's so funny to say this, and people listening are probably gonna think it's a bit hypocritical, but I'm gonna all of a sudden I got like over merch. And it's like, how much merch can exist? And like, do people really want to wear a hat of a podcast? Like it just like they're. I think the whole world went so like merch crazy for a bit, where
Yeah.
like any entity of anything had to have merch, but it's like I don't know if it does really. Like, everyone for a while was like, if you have a restaurant, you have to have merch. But now it's like, there are some restaurants that I love, like, so much. I would swear by them. I would never in my life wear a hat of that restaurant.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we've reached maximum merch and we need to tone it back. And this might make people some angry, but I also don't think we need any brands for a while. I think we have enough stuff going on.
Yeah. And then even like
So I was gonna say, if I see another like premium blanks brand that has like zero personality and just white tees and black hoodies, I'm gonna lose it. We don't
uh,
need them. I'm sorry.
yeah, I get those all the time. And it's like, we made the perfect hoodie. It's like, how many perfect hoodies exist?
Yeah, or if I just see like people probably know what I'm talking about, but like you just picked every single color in the American Apparel colorway and just print your simple Helvetica logoed name across it. We don't need that stuff anymore. We're good.
Yeah, as someone who built their entire life off that, I agree with you. We don't need it.
Yeah, I mean, I did it too with my old brand. I'm like, yeah, no, we're good. We, we don't need any more lifestyle brands for now. We can put a moratorium on it for at least 3 years.
There's even all the niche stuff has really good brands, and there isn't more. Like, there's Metalwood, so there doesn't need to be more like golf companies. They already did it
Dude,
well.
Cole killed it. He's to me, he's like the gold standard of new young golf brands. I love what they do. I go to that store every time I'm in LA and the shop manager remembers me. Shout out to Darren, that guy rips. Yeah, they kill it at Metalwood.
And they were early. Dude, like I wouldn't think of them as like cashing in on like an up and or like a increasing trend. I feel they did that and then the trend almost like didn't follow, but the trend kind of came a bit after they were already making waves and all that.
Yeah. And like he does it for the love of the game because that guy can play golf, man. That guy's a shooter. And I really like he came from Malbon and then he's quit Malbon to do Metalwood and just like the way his approach with like throwback to like the golden era of like late 90s, early 2000s golf speaks to me because like he speaks to an era like right when I quit, you know? So like to me it's like pure nostalgia. I love it.
Yeah, I guess that's right. When you took your hiatus, that's like kind of like a time capsule for you. It's like sealed in your memory. It's like the best time.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool that people want to do brands and like obviously they're gonna do it. I just think we have so much waste in this world. Let's just be a little bit more considered before we decide to like drop another hat or t-shirt company.
My niece or cousin, I think my uncle's kid. reached out to me. She's like not super young, but younger, and she was telling me her boyfriend had saved a bunch of money and he was gonna like start a brand. And did I have any advice for him? And my advice was like, I'm not kidding in any way. Please don't. And I didn't mean just because we don't want your designs. I was like, please don't take all the money you worked for and set it on fire this way.
Lit- Dude, literally, you should take that money, put it in the S&P 500, and forget about it until you're 60. And then you'd be like, damn, this made way more than the brand ever did.
Yeah, unless you're starting Supreme in the 90s, like the money isn't gonna even out.
Yeah, and unless you were like, today it seems it's sad, like, unless you were already a huge influencer on social media, your brand is just gonna flounder. You need that cosign. Like, there's a lot of brands out there that if their owner wasn't an influencer, no one would buy it.
Yeah, honestly, probably every brand ever. Like 95% of brands probably wouldn't have any sort of shelf life if they didn't have like someone big with a following already pushing it.
100%. Yeah. So,
Which sucks, but the reality for sure. Yeah, I love obviously I know my uncle's kid and I met her boyfriend as well. I was just like, please. Like there you could do literally anything with this money that would probably be a smarter use of it than printing a bunch of hats. And like there's also so much stuff. Like I was very lucky that when I there was way less people. So when I started Nowhere Fast, like people kind of cared and like bought the hats, but now like you put it on a hat and there's probably 30 other hats on your explore page. So like whatever color you're into that day is probably what you're gonna end up buying.
yeah. I still run in a tan nowhere fast hat.
Which one?
Oh, you gave me like a dad hat that said nowhere fast years ago, and I still have it. It's part of my
Oh,
legacy.
it's like a navy logo. Or
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, that makes sense. I think that was the only tan one.
Would that be like 2018, 2019, somewhere in there?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably before COVID.
It would be before COVID, yeah. Because I was at the shop, yeah, before COVID hit. I think that was like 2018.
Yeah, that seems like a lifetime ago, but not that long ago. But yeah, I mean, COVID happened. You became a realtor, had a child. I sort of just did the same thing.
Dude, you did 211 episodes of Nowhere Fast. That's a lot of work.
That is sort of true. I'll take it. I mean, I could have been contributing to society in better ways, but this is kind of what I've chosen.
You've had some pretty interesting cats on the pod. And I love listening to the people I know. So it's good. Thank you for doing it.
Well, thank you for listening.
I love the oath episode.
The I That's so funny. People constantly like reference that one. Like when I'll meet someone who is they're like, oh, we've been listening for a while. And it's always that episode that brought them in, even if it's someone like way outside of graph. Like maybe doesn't even like know about a graph at all. They just somehow found that and that's how they like came into it all.
Yeah. Well, I knew him before I knew that he was oath through like skating and motorcycles. So it was funny, like knowing the person and then finding out that they were oaf. And you were like, oh, sick. That's cool.
We, I saw here. I guess what they find to tell the story because I won't use names or anything. But when I was, like Sarah and I were just in van last month for to run the marathon. We were walking, I think to Pepinos or from Pepinos.
Yeah.
We just saw like an older dude like in like pretty short shorts and no shirt like taking out his garbage. And
Yeah.
then as we got closer, Aaron was like, "Oh, that's so and so." I was like, "Oh my god, that is such an insane like coincidence that we just run into someone who I had this episode with." So we were talking to him for a bit, and he was like, "This is so funny." We had like one of the deeper chats of my life and then didn't really talk after, and now we're just seeing each other. And then he was like, I never thought anyone would see me in these shorts with a shirt on. Like, definitely not someone from Alberta who I've like potted with. But it was quite a funny sighting on the street.
That's funny. My loft building is right across from like a pretty popular yard that writers hit. So it's so funny. I'll sit on my patio and then I will just like, and it's attached to a dog park, and I'll see dudes head into the dog park, and I'm like, I know what they're doing. Like they're heading into the train tracks. It's I don't know. It's funny, and like they think they're being stealth, but I'm just on my patio being like, I see you boys.
Yeah, from experience, I think graffiti writers think they're like really self and really undetected, but I think most
Bro.
people like absolutely know what they're doing.
Dude, you're hopping into the dog park with no dog. I see paint splatter on your freaking Arc'teryx jacket, and your backpack is rattling. You are not being low key, my man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like Arctic Shell with paint, probably graffiti writer. Like in Vancouver for sure.
Yeah. I'm like, I see you, 90s crew.
That's yeah, very very accurate. I feel we're not saying anything that anyone doesn't know already.
Yeah. No. So,
I mean we honestly could have probably talked for hours before I would have even noticed, but we're like I would say we're kind of at the time limit. And like I don't want to go on for too long and I'm trying to yeah, I always want to keep these over an hour, but every week I'm like, all right, an hour 7, an hour 15, perfect. And then it's so hard to like end a conversation like that's still going at a shorter time. And I realize saying that I'm kind of ending a conversation that's going at a shorter time, but I think unless you have anything pertinent you want to say, we should wind down, perhaps.
yeah, no, I'm chill. That was fun, dude. I mean, an hour and 40 minutes just flew by.
That was exactly what I hoped it would be. Like I
Yeah.
was like, we'll just talk about basically whatever comes up in this time will be the episode, and it's for like golf department. No more brands. I don't even remember all the stuff, but I know it was a random assortment of interesting topics.
Yeah, I had fun, dude. That was
But
great.
before I actually kick us off, do you wanna please take a minute, let anyone listening know where they can find you or department or the pod, anything you want to promote, please
Oh,
do.
let me plug. You can find us on Instagram at department.of.interest. Same as our website, depthofinterest.com. The new podcast is called Almost Nothing, and it's about design and architecture, specifically West Coast modernism. Give it a listen if you want or don't. Yeah. Keep skateboarding and get back into golf. That's my advice.
That's good advice. Actually, I'm gonna make a note of that and get people to start leaving the listeners with a bit of advice at the end of it. That's good. Well, thank you very much, and of course, I'll hopefully I'll talk to you before that, but I'll see you in a couple of years to update this lore.
Dude, I look forward to it. Thank you so much. That was fun.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of the week or the rest of the weekend, and I don't think you need it, but I'll offer it anyway. Good luck with everything happening in the future.
Dude, thank you so much. All right.
Thank you.
Peace.
Peace.